underrated side hustles for 2023. These have the potential to earn you anywhere from $100 to over $1,000 a day. All you have to do is pick one and get started. So let's begin. On average, Amazon.com produces over 1.3 billion a day in sales. And you can get a piece of that without even having to start your own business by leveraging a trick called Amazon Retail Arbitrage. This allows you to actually resell products from big brand retailers like Walmart and Costco directly on Amazon for a quick profit. And the best part is that you don't have to handle any of the shipping yourself. To do this successfully, you just have to set up an Amazon seller account and download their app on your phone. With the seller app, you can actually go into these stores and directly scan the barcodes of products to see how much they're selling for on Amazon. From there, you can enter the price that the product costs in the store and see your potential profits. If the product is profitable and there's lots of volume on Amazon, you can buy a few units or all of them directly from the store, ship them to Amazon, and put them up for sale. Once they sell, Amazon handles all the fulfillment and you get to take the profit off the top. There are tons of stores you can do this at, like Target, Dollar General, Marshalls, Ross. The list is endless. And if you went out spending a couple hours looking for deals every week, all it takes is one great find to easily make $100 to $300 profit off of just one product. To take this business a step further, you can apply directly for wholesale accounts with big brand retailers to do bulk orders of name brand items at wholesale price. And this isn't easy, but I know it works because last year I did a video with my friend Kenzo, and at 21 years old, he's making over $1 million a month selling these big brand items, which just shows you how much potential this has. So if you're looking for a good way to make some money on the side and have some retail stores in your area, I highly suggest that you give Amazon Arbitrage a try. Amazon is great, but if you're looking for something a little more hands-on, I highly recommend that you check out gutter cleaning. With this, you can easily be making $500 to $1,000 per week within the next 30 days. If you don't know what gutters are pieces of metal installed on roofs that stop rain from dropping on your home. And most homes in America have them, especially in places where it rains a lot. The problem with gutters is after a couple months, they get clogged up and stop working completely. Not only that, but they end up building mold, mildew, and sometimes even collapse entirely. So for that reason, homeowners are willing to pay $100 to $500 for someone to come in and clean them. And starting this side hustle is relatively easy and costs you next to nothing. All you need is a ladder, which you can rent from Home Depot for less than $30 a day, some gloves, and something to help you scoop out the gutters. Then you can drive around some neighborhoods in your city and start door knocking to sell your service. Yes, door-to-door sales is not easy, but it's worth it and it will push you. I have no doubt in my mind that you can make over $500 on a weekend doing this because it's something people genuinely need and don't want to have to deal with themselves. All you have to do is find some houses with some dirty gutters and they will pay you to clean them. The best part is that if you do a good job, they can refer you to their friends and come back again and again for more work. Sometimes it's really the simplest jobs that have the most potential, so don't shy away from work like this, especially if you're young, because it's a great way to make some extra cash. Now, if you're looking for something a little more scalable that you can do from home, I highly recommend reselling. More specifically, finding free items that you can flip for a profit. And I know this works because I just did it a couple weeks ago. I started over from $0 and worked my way up to over $350 in 3 days just from flipping stuff. And if you haven't seen that video, make sure to check it out. I'll put the link down below. If this is something that you want to do, I recommend you download this app on your phone called Freebie Alerts, which will notify you anytime there is a free listing in your area on any platform. You're gonna have to sift through some listings, but every once in a while a gem will pop up. From using this, I ended up finding a couch for free on Facebook Marketplace that was worth over $800. And within just a couple hours, I successfully sold it for $100 in profit. Once you find something good, you have to be quick to go and pick it up, but with a few hours of research, you can easily find a couple of good flips every week. Without a doubt, the best thing to look for is furniture, because when people are moving out, they're going to end up giving away great stuff for free just to help get it off their hands. And especially in major cities, people are moving in and out of homes all the time. The only downside to this is that you need a truck, but you can always ask a friend like I did or rent a U-Haul for just around 25 bucks an hour. I know this isn't a brand new idea, but it's still one of the best side hustles out there. And during my challenge last week, I actually met someone who's making over $1,000 a week flipping stuff on Facebook Marketplace while still working a job. So it goes to show what's possible even if you do this on the side. Nearly 50 billion pieces of litter are scattered around the world every year. And you can actually get paid $20 to $50 per hour to fix this problem. This is Brian. He's making over $100,000 a year simply by picking up trash in parking lots. I spent some time studying his strategy and came to the realization that any of you can do this in your city. Here's how it works. Most retail stores have massive parking lots that end up getting flooded with trash, and they actually don't have any system to help them manage the cleanup process. And the landlords are willing to pay great money to help keep their property looking right. So to do this, all you have to do is create a list of 10 to 20 big parking lots in your city, then do some research to find the owners of these properties, reach out to them, and pitch your services. The people that own these properties have tons of capital and will be happy to pay for it. Unless of course they already have someone managing it, then you're out of luck. You can sign them up on a weekly basis, paying you anywhere from $250 to $500 a week just to pick up their trash on the side. It's not a sexy business model and it's definitely not very scalable, but it's a simple way to make some money on the side and, more importantly, make your community a better place. The next one is something you could start on the side that can eventually turn into a full-time income. Now, it might not be as easy as the others, but it has the highest growth potential by far, and I know because I did it myself. I'm talking about dropshipping, which is still undeniably one of the best ways to make money in 2023. I actually started my first dropshipping store with less than $2,000 to my name while I was a full-time college student. And within the first year, I sold over $700,000 worth of products. Fast forward now to 2023, and I've sold over $2.5 million worth of products, and recently sold one of my stores for a life-changing amount. So when I tell you this, I'm speaking from my own personal experience. To succeed with dropshipping, you only need to learn 3 skills: product research, website design, and advertising. And as a beginner, I know these might sound complicated, so if you want to learn how I did it, I created a free video on my channel that will walk you through exactly how I built my business from scratch with everything you need to know. And from using this same strategy, I found the sleep band, which is the product that I scaled to over $1.8 million in sales, and I can say that it truly changed my life forever. So I'll put the link to that video down below. As you can see, all it takes is just one successful product to turn this side hustle into a full-time business. But for now, let's move on to the last one. Commission-based sales jobs are the most lucrative jobs by far because you get paid directly in proportion to how well you perform, and typically you can do these part-time. Now, there are many different things you can sell, but I believe for 2023, selling solar is one of the best opportunities to make some extra cash on the side. Solar power actually makes the environment a better place and saves the homeowner money. Therefore, it's pretty easy to convince people to purchase this for their house. The average solar installation can cost anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000, and most sales reps make 10 to 20% on every deal, which means you can bring in at a minimum $1,500 per sale. I know this firsthand because one of my friends, Zane, owns one of the largest solar companies in the world called Better Earth, and his top sales reps are making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. Thankfully, there are tons of solar companies out there, so the jobs are endless. All you have to do is put yourself out there and you can start closing deals in just a couple months. As you can see, there is no excuse to not be making some extra money on the side this year because there is an abundance of opportunities. So make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.
I found 15 websites that you can start using to make easy money from home every single day. And the best part is that all of these websites require no experience and are completely free to start, and some of the last few on the list can make you over 6 figures per year depending on how far you take them. 2CAPTCHA is a website that lets you earn money from the comfort of your home by solving CAPTCHAs. If you don't know what CAPTCHAs are, they're those little pictures that you have to solve before logging into a website or submitting a form online. And these things are everywhere, and they basically help to limit spam on websites. And the reason a website like 2CAPTCHA will pay you to solve these CAPTCHAs is because they need real people like you to solve them to make sure that they're actually effective. And to get started, all you need is a cell phone or a computer, and then head over to 2CAPTCHA.com, click up here on Work For Us, and then click on Start Earning. Now, while 2CAPTCHA certainly won't make you the most money compared to some of the other websites on this list, it's still an incredibly easy way to make some extra cash on the side, and it can be started completely free with 0 skills. And so it's definitely not life-changing money, but it is easy money. And for that reason, I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10 on the money scale. Now, what if I told you that you could earn truly passive income by just installing an app on your phone or your computer? Well, that's exactly what the Nielsen computer and mobile panel does. When you sign up and install the app on your computers, smartphones, and tablets, you'll earn money and be entered into monthly $10,000 sweepstakes. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, but Joshua, how exactly am I making money? Like, what's the catch? Well, there is no catch. When you install the app, it sends Nielsen a anonymous data about how you use your devices, and then it pays you for that information. And the app does not collect information about the websites that you visit, nor does it collect any user IDs, passwords, or other private information. And on average, you can expect to earn about $60 per year just for having this app installed on your devices. And you don't have to do anything at all to earn this money. This is truly passive income. Just install the app, let it work in the background, and collect your easy, free money. Oh, I can't complain about that. 2 out of 10. So we talked about Nielsen, a website that lets you earn passive income just for having the app installed on your devices. But there's an even better website that you can use on top of the last website to make even more money. Savvy Connect is an easy to use app that quietly includes you in behavioral market research while you browse the internet, very similar to Nielsen. But what's better about Savvy Connect is that the more devices you have the app installed on, the more money you'll make. You see, the app will pay you $5 per month for every device up to 3 devices. This means that you can earn $15 per month or about $180 per year for literally doing nothing. Listen, all the other apps that you have installed on your phone already and all the websites that you visit are already taking data from you anyways, and so you might as well get paid for it, right? Pretty savvy if you ask me. 3 out of 10. There are a lot of different survey websites out there. Some of them are decent and others are just a complete waste of time. However, neither of these are the case for a survey website called Prolific. Prolific is a research company that pays participants to take surveys based on research studies being conducted by major universities. And unlike other survey websites such as Swagbucks and Survey Junkie, Prolific doesn't try to gamify their surveys to make them more fun. But who needs to have fun while taking surveys? I mean, after all, you're here to make money. And this is where Prolific really shines. On average, just for taking surveys from the comfort of your home, you can earn what's equivalent to between $6 and $12 per hour. This is much higher than the average $1 to $3 per hour that you'll earn on other survey websites. And there's nothing more prolific than earning some extra money. 4 out of 10. Now, we've got some much higher paying websites coming up, but first, I'd like to talk about this video sponsor, Audible. In my video on how to build wealth from zero, I talk a lot about investing in yourself. I share about the experiences that finally helped me to find the path that would change my financial future, and I owe part of that to my time spent reading books and listening to podcasts. And thanks to Audible, you guys can start investing in yourself too. Whether it's listening while you drive, work out, or do chores, Audible truly offers an incredible selection of audiobooks. And I recommend starting with my personal favorite, The Richest Man in Babylon. Based in the Babylonian Empire, the author shares 7 simple lessons on how to keep more of what you earn, get out of debt, and put your money to work. It was the first book that truly changed the way that I saw money. Check out my video on 5 books that teach you how to get rich for more details on that. I love that Audible not only has books, but podcasts too. I highly recommend the Personal Finance podcast with my good friend Andrew G, and not just because I'm in episode 126. Right now, new members get 30 days free if you use my code MAYO, and I'll leave a link down below in the description as well. Thanks so much to Audible. You know, wouldn't it be wonderful if money could just fall from the sky? Well, with an app called Webull, money can fall from the sky. You see, Webull is a stock investment app, and you can get 12 free stocks valued up to $36,000 just for opening an account and depositing any amount of money, even as little as 1 penny. This is basically a no-brainer because it's literally free money, and the best part is that you can start investing while you're at it. And getting started is incredibly easy. I'll leave a link down below in the description of this video, but if you click on that link, it's gonna bring you to this website right here, at which point you'll click on this button that says Join Today. You'll sign up, go through the application process, and then you'll have to link a bank account, which is the account that you'll use to deposit any amount of money. After you do this, you'll receive your 12 free stocks valued up to $36,000. Now, I don't know about you, but for the potential to earn $36,000, I will personally Webull any day of the week. 4 out of 10. Validately is a website that lets you get paid to test websites and apps. And I've talked about these user testing websites in the past, but what's unique about Validately is that unlike other similar websites like Userlytics and UserZoom, Validately will send you tests that you qualify for directly to your email. And this means that you don't have to waste any of your time trying to qualify for paid tests by taking dozens of different screener tests. With Validately, they'll only send you tests that you qualify for. And getting started is incredibly easy. Simply head over to to panel.validately.com, where you'll then be met with this screen here that says register as a tester and start earning money. You'll then click on create an account, answer all these questions to create your profile, and then wait for the website to start sending you tests to your email. Most people will receive their first test within 24 hours of creating their account. And on average, you can expect to earn anywhere from $20 to $40 per month using Validately. And some users have even claimed to make close to $100 per month. Listen, I've got to say it, Validately seems pretty valid. 4 out of 10. Coming up at number 9, we have a website called ListVerse, and this website will pay you to create lists. That's right, lists like this, or this, or this, or even this. With ListVerse, you'll get paid to write your own list of 10 items or more on anything that you find interesting. And the best part is that you don't need to be a writer to make money with this website. As long as your list is interesting, it'll be accepted. And for every list that's accepted, you'll get paid $100. This means theoretically, if you wrote a new list every single day and each one got accepted, you could make as much as $700 per week. And that is definitely not bad at all. In fact, I would say that's pretty great. I'm gonna list this website as a solid 5 out of 10. Listen, there is nothing better than free cash. And at number 8, we have a website called freecash.com. When you first land on the website, it may seem a tad bit overwhelming, but essentially what you can do on this website is get paid for testing games, testing websites, taking surveys, and doing things like signing up for free services. The website even has a chat bar that you can use to chat with other people while you're completing various tasks. Now, I do want to mention something very important, okay? Sometimes you'll see offers that might require you to buy something or pay for something in order to complete the offer, and I want you to avoid these offers at all costs. I mean, after all, the website is called freecash.com. There are plenty of tasks that you can complete for free that don't require you to buy anything. Now, according to freecash.com, you can earn up to $162 per offer, but on average, you can expect to earn about $100 per month with this website, with some of the most active users on the website earning upwards of $1,000 or more every single month. And so there is definitely a lot of potential to earn some free cash. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10. Wouldn't it be great to get paid for giving advice about the things that you cared about or have experience in? Well, with a site called Clarity, you can do exactly this. Clarity is a marketplace to get one-on-one advice about a wide variety of topics. I mean, anything from business and entrepreneurship, different skills like productivity and public speaking, and even relationship advice. And so if you feel like you have something to offer, even if you don't consider yourself to be an expert, if you have experience in a certain field or industry, you can sign up for Clarity and start making some easy money from the comfort of your home. Now, there are people making anywhere between $100 and $300 per hour using this website, but according to the website, the average 30-minute call works out to be about $50 or about $1.60 per minute. And that makes this a clear 5 out of 10 in my book. Userfeel is another user testing website that lets you make easy money by testing websites, apps, or prototypes. Each test lasts between 5 or 60 minutes and can be completed on your phone, tablet, or computer. Your job is to perform certain tasks like finding a product in an online store and then going through the checkout process. And this helps site owners to find and fix usability issues. From here, you'll take a qualification test, which is required for every new user, but then after that, you can start earning money taking real tests. Now, on average, most usability tests on this website will last about 20 minutes and pay you $10. Overall though, Userfeel is a great website with a very fair payment structure, and for that reason, I feel like it deserves a 6 out of 10. Plasma is a very important part of your blood that's used in the medical field for various applications to save lives. And plasma is always in high demand, but there's really only one reliable place that we can find it: in our blood. And that's exactly why medical facilities are willing to pay you some really good money for you to donate your plasma. And sites like CSL Plasma will let you search for plasma donation centers near you. Simply go to cslplasma.com and then click right here on Start Donating. The website will then show you all the qualifications that you'll need before you can start donating your plasma. After that, it'll walk you through what you can expect when you begin donating. And you can make anywhere from $300 to as much as $1,000 per month by making weekly plasma donations. It's almost as if you have money just running through your veins. 7 out of 10. Listen, I don't know a single person that likes waiting in line for something, and that's exactly why a lot of people would be willing to pay some really good money to have other people wait in line for them. On sites like TaskRabbit, you can sign up to start taking on wait in line tasks. And as you can see here, there are already hundreds of people earning anywhere from $20 to $100 per hour just for waiting in line for other people. And you may be wondering, but Joshua, who would pay somebody to wait in line for them? Well, who would pay somebody to go grocery shopping for them, right? And yet we have apps like Instacart and Shipt, and I personally use those apps all the time. And paying somebody to wait in line for you is really no different. You could be waiting in line to buy popular concert tickets, to buy the newest iPhone, or to buy a new pair of those Nikes that you can resell for $11,000. And the amount of money that you can make doing this varies widely, but the range tends to be anywhere between $25 and $50 per hour depending on where you live. Sounds like a win-win to me, 7 out of 10. HipCamp is like Airbnb for camping. Homeowners can rent out their land to adventurous backpackers or van lifers looking for a spot to stay for a couple of days. And the site does actually work, and real people are making real money by using it. You can see all the different homes renting out their backyard right here on this map. And many of these homes have hundreds of reviews, and so you know that people are actually booking these spots, which means the homeowners are making some pretty good money. In fact, the average host pulls in between $8,000 and $15,000 per year by renting out their backyard to campers. And getting started is super simple. Just go to hipcamp.com, click up here on start hosting, and then sign up. I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. So this might be one of the most interesting and lucrative websites / ideas that you can start doing, which is why I'm placing it at number 1 on the list. And that is by selling authorized user trade lines on a site called TradelineSupply.com. So trade line selling is when you add a stranger as an authorized user on one of your credit cards. This allows them to increase their credit score by piggybacking off of your good credit habits. Basically, every credit card company allows you to add what's called authorized users to your account. And these authorized users will benefit the same way that you benefit from using your credit responsibly. Now, I know that this might sound a tad bit sketchy, but really there is very minimal risk. When you add an authorized user to your credit card, the credit card company will only send the credit card to your address, the primary card holder, which means the credit card doesn't actually go to the stranger, it goes to you, which means that you can prevent fraud and misuse. And by using a site like Trade Line Supply Company, which is one of the most reputable trade line brokers, getting started is incredibly easy. And on average, you can expect to earn anywhere from $50 to as much as $350 per month for every authorized user that you have added to your credit cards. And how much you can earn depends on the age of that specific credit card. The longer the credit card's been open, the more you can earn. Hey, you're amazing, and I appreciate you so much for being here. Don't ever forget, you can accomplish anything that you want in this life. I'm watching you, I believe in you, and as always, I'll see you guys again very soon. Take care.
There are 4 main ways to getting money. You either trade your time for money, you trade information for money, you give a product or a service for money, or you put something to work for money. I'll say that again. We're going to go through them one by one. These are the main ways that money will arrive in your bank account. Remember what I just told you guys, the 4 main things about cash, how it works, how you got to attack it, identify where it's moving, etc. These are the 4 main ways money is made. First is time for money. Now this is what most jobs are. And there's nothing wrong with the job. A lot of people are going to come and say, quit your job. No, there's nothing wrong with having a job. And it's better than doing nothing. But this is the first level. This is the first level on how to make money. So what you do when you have a job is you give up your time to get some cash. So a guy will say, if you stand here all day, I'll give you X amount of money. And you agree. You give up your time to make money. The problem with giving up your time to make money is what? Who knows the problem with giving up your time to make money? I'll tell you the problem. The problem is you only have a certain amount of time. It's very difficult to get rich if you give up your time for money because you have a certain amount of time. You need to sleep, you need to eat, you got other stuff to do. You haven't got the time to sit there and get rich that way. So time for money is great, and obviously the more valuable your time is, the better. That's fine, you can make more, but you still have a finite amount of time. And this is the problem with trading your time for money. Next is information for money. Now the good thing about getting information for money is that your time is not explicitly linked. So if you do something like a video giving information, that one video, you can film it one time, but it can be given out or sold 1,000,000 times, and you get paid every single time. But your time is no longer linked to the money. So a lot of people make money purely on information. And this, it can be done lots of ways. It can be done with what I'm doing right now. I'm making money based on what I know right now. I am selling information to you people. I know information and I'm providing it. There are also high-level consultants who do the same thing. Information is valuable. We live in the age of information. Another thing I guys want you to write down your notes. Some of the two most important things in the world today are information and attention. If you have information and you can get attention, you will be rich. Because if you can get attention, people are going to pay attention to you. And if you have information to give them, you're going to be rich. This webinar is an example of how me, a person who can attract attention, who has information, can make money. So information for money is better than time for money. Now, every single person sitting here, there must be something you know. You know something. You know something others don't know. It doesn't matter if it's how to play guitar. It doesn't matter if it's how to play piano. It doesn't matter if it's how to fix a car. It doesn't matter what it is. You must have some information that other people find useful. That information can be weaponized and it can be turned into money. We're going to get into how to do that later, but it's not actually very complicated. You need to garner attention. You need to produce the videos or the subject material or the PDFs or whatever you want to do. Explain to people what you know. You need to establish credibility so they understand that they can trust you and they will pay for your information. This is another way to get money, information. So keep that in mind, write that down. Because when you write down your piece of paper information, you also need to sit and think, what do I know that other people don't know? So there must be something you know, and that information is valuable. You have to convince people it's valuable and to come and buy it from you. Next, this is what most businesses do. They provide a product or a service for money. Now this is different from information, because even though if you provide a service, you have information. Let's say you fix cars. You know how to fix cars, you have that information. But you're not selling the information. You're selling the service, which is different. The information would be selling me a book on how to fix my own car. The service is coming here and to fix it for me. So a product or service selling for money. This is very, very simple. This is what most businesses do. They get a product or a service and they sell it for a market. Now, this is the way that most mega businesses make money, but in the modern world, it's quite difficult to do. And it's difficult to do because most products and services are monopolized. They're monopolized because everyone's already selling everything. And we live in a global economy now. And there's no product you can think of that I can't go to Amazon.com and find cheaper from China, and they'll sell it at a 1 penny, maybe 2 penny markup. So the product route is getting harder unless you're very, very unique and you build a brand, which is something we're going to get into. The service is fine, but you know what the problem with service is? Service is once again linked to your time. If you're providing a service, you're still giving up your time for money. Do you understand? So the product angle is difficult, the service angle is difficult, the time angle is difficult. So far, the only angle we have will allow you to make money scalable out and beyond is information for money. Next, putting something else to do the work for you. Now this is what corporations and the mega rich people do. They either get people to work for them or they get their money to work for them. So to keep their time free, they make other people or other things give up their time. So a company will come along, let's look at the slides. A company will come along with a service. It will advertise its service. It will then hire people, number one. It will get people to work for them. And then those people will give up their time in exchange for a wage, give up their time in exchange for a wage, and the company will keep money. So the owner of that company, although he has to manage things, his time is not explicitly linked to income. Now the super wealthy, what the super wealthy people do is, they get their money to work for them. And if your money works for you, it's even better than people, because people need to be managed a lot more than money. Your money doesn't need to be managed. Money just works. So if you have millions of dollars and you put them in a 10%, you can get a 10% return, or even a 3% return. You're going to be rich on the interest without doing anything. So making your money make you money is great. But you can only live off this money if you already have a lot of money. So let's go back through and analyze. Getting people to work for you is a complicated setup because you actually need to sell a product or service to get most people to work for you. Also, you need to people manage. So for a long period of time, you're not going to have your time free. This is the first thing. Second thing, getting your money to work for you, you need a lot of money to live off the work your money does. You need a lot of money to get this to happen. Most people don't have enough money to put their money to work to live off it. Now, you still should put your money to work. I want to talk about that. But you can't live off your money working.
When I go to sleep at night, I can rest easy knowing that as I'm sleeping, my pockets are continuing to get filled. With money, that is. Lots and lots of money. And that's because I've set up 4 income streams that work for me 24/7 even while I'm sleeping. And the best part is that it doesn't take a genius to start these income streams. No, these are 4 insanely lazy ways that any normal person can make money while they sleep. And all of these income streams are very easy to set up and can potentially make you life-changing money. And so if you consider yourself to be a normal person, then these next 10 minutes could literally be game-changing for you. Now, don't worry, we're gonna talk about exactly what these 4 income streams are, but I wanna tell you a story. So several years ago, I had the privilege of meeting this multimillionaire through an acquaintance of mine. And this guy owned a commercial real estate construction company, and so he was insanely wealthy. And I remember we're at this guy's house, and his house was absolutely beautiful. And I'll never forget it, okay? So in the kitchen, they have this big tray of these like perfectly seasoned, juicy Kobe beef steaks. And they're just tossing these steaks on the grill and passing them out like it's nothing. And just in case you don't know, one of these steaks can cost anywhere from like $100 to $200 for a single 12-ounce steak. But anyways, fast forward a little bit, I got acquainted with this guy, and I decided one day to send him a text message. And so I asked him, I said, hey, Jim, that was his name. His name was Jim Ernest, okay? So I said, Jim, I don't want to be rude or anything, but I'm really hungry for more of those Kobe beef steaks. No, that's not what I said, okay? I said, I'm really hungry to know how exactly you built your wealth. Like, I'm just really curious because I want that for myself as well. And at the time, I was just turning about 19 or 20. And so a couple hours goes by and I'm getting nervous because I'm like, oh, I hope I didn't ask the wrong question. But eventually he replies back and he says, hey Joshua, I appreciate the question. I appreciate your forwardness. My biggest source of income right now is through my construction company, but that's not actually how I built my wealth to begin with. And that's when I got really intrigued, because if his only source of income was through his construction company, then little old Joshua didn't have a chance because that was way out of my league. Fortunately though, what he did end up saying were a few things that were not out of my league. And he also alluded to the fact that many of his millionaire friends also had all these income streams in some form. And so obviously they're income streams that are profitable enough for millionaires to continue using them, but they're easy enough to start that a regular person can start them. And so now I'd like to talk with you about exactly what these income streams are and how you can start building them for yourself. So the first income stream that he talked about were the many paychecks that businesses would send him on a regular basis. Now, this isn't like mafia level stuff, right? He wasn't going around to different businesses whacking people for not paying him his cut. No. Let me put it this way, okay? Imagine a company like Coca-Cola that's been around since like 1892 decides, you know, we've been building this company for over 100 years now and we make too much money. I think that we want to start rewarding people for buying our stock. And so when you go and buy shares of Coca-Cola stock at $50 a share or whatever it's currently trading at, Coca-Cola will start sending you what I like to refer to as mini paychecks. And some of you might know them as just being called dividends. And so the way this works is many companies that trade on the stock market will pay their shareholders these mini paychecks or these dividends just for owning shares of their stock. And large companies like Apple, AT&T, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and hundreds of America's largest companies pay their shareholders these micro paychecks. And so the question becomes, how exactly can you start making this income stream work in your life? Like, how can you set it up so that when you go to sleep at night, you know that you're continuing to make money because Tim Cook at Apple is writing checks for you while you sleep? Here's how you do it. The first thing you need is a brokerage account. I recommend going with either Webull, Fidelity, Vanguard, or M1 Finance. Of those 4, Webull is probably the most user-friendly if you're new to buying stocks. Plus, right now, if you open up an account with Webull and deposit just 1 penny, Webull will give you 12 free stocks valued up to $36,000. Next, once your account is open, you'll do some research to figure out what companies actually pay dividends. Now, I'd personally recommend that you only go with Dividend King stocks. These are stocks that have a strong history of paying consistent increasing dividends for 50 consecutive years or more. And here's a list of some of the best Dividend King stocks. Feel free to pause the video here and write some of these down. Next, once you've selected which Dividend King stocks you want to actually invest in, you're going to go into your brokerage account and actually buy those stocks. Now, the good thing is that with brokers like Webull, you can buy fractional shares of these stocks. And so this means if you wanted to start receiving paychecks paychecks from, say, Apple, but you didn't have $150 to spend on Apple, you could just buy a fraction of that $150 share as little as $1. And then after you buy the stock, that's it. You just wait. And then every month or every quarter, whenever the stock pays dividends, you'll receive paychecks directly to your brokerage account, which you can use for whatever you want. And believe it or not, some people can even live off of the dividend paychecks they receive and never have to work. It does take time to build this type of portfolio up, but a lot of people do it. Now, if you'd like me to make a dedicated video about this, about how you can live off of your dividend paychecks, drop a comment down below and say, yes, Joshua, I would love a video about dividend paychecks, and leave a heart emoji or something so that I know you mean it. Anyways, the next income stream that Jim talked about that contributed to his wealth and allowed him to make money passively was having passive income streams. Now, Jim specifically had this business where he would hire these high school kids, and he would have these high schoolers go out to these youth soccer games and record the games for the parents. And these parents would pay a lot of money to have, you know, a high quality video of their little Sammy running up and down the field playing soccer. And this was all completely passive for Jim, right? Because remember, he hired the high school kids to actually record the games for him, and all Jim had to do was just collect payments from all the parents who wanted to buy a DVD. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that you should go out and start, you know, a youth soccer video company, but what I'm saying is you need to figure out how you can start building passive streams of income in general. And this could be from starting a passive side hustle, like the dozens of side hustles that I talk about on my channel. It could be from selling courses or writing ebooks or starting a YouTube channel or anything that's going to create passive income for you. This means when you go to sleep at night, or when you sit down to watch Netflix, or when you hang out with your friends, or go walk your dog, or do whatever it is that you do when you're not working, you're still actually making money because these passive income streams are always working behind the scenes for you. Now, I tell people this all the time, okay? You want to build passive income streams that are actually going to be scalable. What exactly does this mean? Well, for example, going and starting a pressure washing business is not really scalable, nor is it passive, right? Because in this situation, you're having to trade your time for money. You have to physically go out to properties and do work before you can get paid. Now, you certainly can, you know, make it more scalable and a lot more passive by hiring people and then having those people that you hired go out and pressure wash for you. And that's exactly what Jim did. He went out and he hired high school kids for cheap to go and record these soccer games for him so that he didn't have to use his time to be at every single one of these soccer games recording the event. It's definitely an option, but it does come with a cost. And so something that I've always preferred for myself, and I would recommend this for most people as well, is to find passive income streams that have low overhead. Things like starting an Etsy print on demand shop, or you could do things like selling courses on Skillshare or starting a YouTube channel. These can all be started with just one person, you, little to no money, and are very easily scalable and passive. The next passive income stream was one that Jim said was probably his biggest source of passive income, and that is real estate. But he was really quick to point out the fact that although he did own physical real estate, a larger percentage of his real estate portfolio was actually not in physical real estate, but in a couple of other real estate investments. And he mentioned two different real estate investments that basically anybody can start with very little money, and both of these real estate investments are very lazy and passive. The first real estate investment that he mentioned was real estate crowdsourcing. This is a method of real estate investing that connects investors with real properties through the internet. And the best thing about crowdsourcing is that you don't need a lot of money to start investing. And so with crowdsourcing, you're using sites like Fundrise to go and invest in real estate projects. And so this could be anything from single family homes to entire apartment complexes and different types of commercial real estate. And so to get started with real estate crowdsourcing, all you would do is sign up for a site like Fundrise, choose your investments, and start investing. It's super simple, completely hands-off, and a perfect way to get your money working for you 24/7. The next real estate investment that he talked about was buying REITs, or real estate investment trusts. So a REIT is a company that owns and operates income-producing real estate. And so when you buy shares of a REIT, you're essentially investing in all of the underlying real estate that REIT owns. And so this could be shopping centers, hospitals, office buildings, and even cellular towers. Now, you may be thinking right now, yeah, but Joshua, how exactly does a REIT pay me in my sleep? Well, very similar to dividend-paying stocks, REITs also pay a monthly or quarterly dividend. Plus, just like stocks, REITs are also bought and sold on the stock market, and so they're extremely easy to invest in. All you would do is go to your brokerage account, type in the name of the REIT that you wanted to invest in, buy shares of it, and then from that point, you'll start receiving dividend paychecks whenever the REIT pays dividends, which is typically every month or every quarter. And so yes, Jim did own physical real estate, but he also owned a lot of REITs, and he did a lot of investing using crowdsourcing websites. And the last source of income that Jim mentioned was affiliate marketing. And what he did specifically was built and ran niche blog websites that generated affiliate income. Now, I don't know exactly what niches his blogs were in, but an example of this would be like a gardening tips blog. blog. An entire blog dedicated to gardening, right? How to grow the biggest and juiciest tomatoes, what type of fertilizer to use to make your tulips big and tall. And then inside of that blog, because you're talking about one subject and you're becoming an authority on that subject and you're building trust with your audience, you would recommend products and services within the blog post. And so, for example, perhaps the best fertilizer to use to make your tulips grow big and tall is Frankie's Ferocious Fertilizer. And so you would mention that fertilizer in the blog post, and there would be a link for the reader to click on that would lead them to maybe Amazon or somewhere else where they can buy that fertilizer. However, this link is not just an ordinary link. This is actually an affiliate link. And so anytime a reader clicks on that link and then proceeds to buy that fertilizer, you're going to receive a small kickback or commission for them purchasing that fertilizer. Now, what I've learned over the years is that you can either treat affiliate marketing as a primary source of income or a secondary source. For example, here on my YouTube channel, affiliate marketing is a secondary source of income. I make anywhere between $10,000 and $15,000 per month with affiliate marketing, but that makes up a smaller percentage of my total monthly income for my channel. Now, if I wanted to, I could focus a lot more of my energy on affiliate marketing to make more money, but I choose to keep that income source as passive as possible so that I can use that energy somewhere else. Now, obviously, whenever I can, I'll try and post affiliate links in the descriptions of my videos, but in most cases, I'm not like actively pushing those links in my videos all the time. It's just kind of this secondary thing in the background, right? Where if someone happens to click on my video description and they see my Amazon storefront, for example, and they click on it and they buy a product from it, well, great, I'll get a small commission from that. But it's not something that I'm always actively promoting. Now, if you did run like a specific niche blog or even a niche YouTube channel, then in that situation, it might actually make more sense to focus more energy on affiliate marketing, especially if that's going to be your primary source of income. Now, affiliate marketing is a very broad, complex subject that goes way beyond the scope of this specific video. Once again, if you guys would like a dedicated step-by-step video about how to get started with affiliate marketing, drop a comment down below. But generally, affiliate marketing can be a very lazy and passive source of income that, if done right, can make you a lot of money. And if you have not already dropped a like down below for the YT algo or subscribed to the channel, I really don't know what you're waiting for. It would mean the world to me if you did both those things. You guys are all truly amazing, and I appreciate every last one of you watching. I mean that, and I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day or night or afternoon or whatever. And as always, I will see you again very soon. Take care.